Dear learners, in this session, we shall be discussing a topic learning organization. This topic is taken from Unit 10 of Block 3 of the course MES 041, that is Growth and Development of Educational Management of Program PGDEMA. What are learning organizations? Now, according to Peter Senge in 1990, learning organizations are organizations where people continually expand their capacity to create the results they truly desire, where new and expansive patterns of thinking are nurtured, where collective aspiration is set free, and where people are continually learning to see the whole together. Features of learning organizations. Learning organizations are flexible, adaptive, and productive and can survive in situations of change. Tapping people's commitment and capacity to learn at all levels is important. As a part of the team, meaningfulness of the experience is important. Features of learning organizations. Now let us discuss adaptive learning and generative learning. Adaptive learning is concerned with adapting to environmental changes and improving the organization's capacity to achieve known objectives in a reactive manner. Whereas generative learning goes beyond just adapting to changes in a reactive mode, it involves creativity and innovation, anticipation of change, staying ahead of competition, and changing in a proactive manner. That means you are acting in advance of a future situation. Now, generative learning involves a creative reframing of an organization's problems and experiences. It involves formulation of and experimentation with new and innovative approaches to problem solving and decision making and learning from those processes. So, it involves openness. Now, what are the basic disciplines which help in the identification of a learning organization? Now, there are 5 basic disciplines which help in the identification of a learning organization, and these basic disciplines are systems thinking, personal mastery, mental models, building shared vision, and team learning. Now, what is a discipline? A discipline is viewed by Peter Senge as a series of principles and practices that we study, master, and integrate into our lives. The 5 disciplines can be approached at one of 3 levels. First, practices, what you do. Principles, guiding ideas and insights. Third, essences, that is the state of being, those with high levels of mastery in the discipline. And all the 5 disciplines, they are concerned with a shift of mind from seeing parts to seeing wholes, from seeing people as helpless reactors to seeing them as active participants in shaping their reality, from reacting to the present to creating the future. Now, first basic discipline is systems thinking. Now, system thinking is the process of understanding how things influence one another within a whole. Now, if we see in nature, we find that There are many examples of system thinking. For example, let us take ecosystem. Now, in ecosystem, there are various elements such as air, water, plants, animals, and all these elements they work together to survive, otherwise they will perish. In organizations, systems consist of people, structures, and processes that work together to make an organization healthy or unhealthy. Now, whenever we face a problem, we focus on the close by solutions. In other words, we look to actions that produce improvements in a relatively short span of time. But what happens when such actions are taken? So, such short-term improvements they may result in long-term costs. For example, cutting back on research and design that can cut costs, but they may have long-term repercussions because if there is no research or if you are cutting out on the design activities, the organization may suffer in the long run. Now, Peter Senge advocates the use of systems maps. Now, systems maps are diagrams that show the key elements of systems and how they connect. Failure to understand systems dynamics can lead us into cycles of blaming and self-defense. So the enemy is always out there and problems are always caused by someone else. Now, second basic discipline is personal mastery. Now, what is personal mastery? Personal mastery is a specific principle and practice that helps a person to learn, create a personal vision, and view the world objectively. The first essential element of personal mastery is personal vision. Now, according to Peter Senge, we need to differentiate between vision and goals and objectives. Now, vision is the image of the future that we desire, and goals and objectives they may help us in achieving the vision or in coming closer to the vision. So, a vision must have a sense of purpose because if your vision is purposeless, then it is pointless to have a vision. For example, if we want to start a computer gaming company, then we must first establish our personal vision as it relates to the new startup. Or, in other words, what is the purpose you wish your company to serve and how do you see the company serving that purpose in the future? So, you or we, either of us, then set goals and objectives to achieve the vision. Personal mastery is not something which we possess, but it is a process. People with a high level of personal mastery are aware of their ignorance, they are aware of their incompetence, they are aware of their growth areas, and they are deeply self confident. Now, the third basic discipline is mental models. Now, mental models are deeply ingrained assumptions, generalizations, or even pictures and images that influence how we understand the world and how we take the action. So, mental models are frameworks for thinking. Mental models help us understand life. Discipline of mental model helps in unearthing our internal pictures of the world and bring them to the surface. It also includes the ability to carry on learning conversations that balance inquiry and advocacy, where people expose their own thinking effectively and make that thinking open to the influence of others. Now, building shared vision is the fourth discipline. One idea about leadership has inspired organizations. It is the capacity to hold a shared picture of the future we seek to create. This vision has the power to be uplifting and to encourage experimentation and innovation. When people talk, the vision grows clearer. Development of mental models can further help. Vision can be fulfilled when organizations can transcend and grasp system thinking. When there is a genuine vision, people excel and learn, not because they are told to, but because they want to. Many times, leaders have a personal vision, but it never gets translated into a shared vision, which can provide a direction to an institution. By using a set of principles and guiding practices, a shared vision can be formed. Now, the fifth basic discipline is team learning. Team learning is the process of aligning and developing the capacities of a team to create the results its members truly desire. People need to be able to act together. Now, according to Peter Senge, when teams learn together, the organization produces good results and members grow together. So, this fifth discipline of team learning, it starts with dialogue. Team members leave their assumptions and enter into a genuine thinking together. There is the possibility of creating a language more suited for dealing with complexity and of focusing on deep seated structural issues and forces rather than being diverted by questions of personality and leadership style. Learners, you can reach me at these two email addresses. Thank you very much for this session.